Ellie video. You may want to catch that first, because this is kind of following up because it's my thoughts on the Tyson Paul fight, right? Um, One of the facts of the matter is that Mike Tyson wasn't just professionally retired. He also, I mean, he had his personal journeys of personal development, and is somebody who is known to have grown tremendously as a human being and has used that time wisely, right? Um, but when you like a man his age, I believe could have destroyed Jake Paul, but not under the circumstances of how Mike chose to live in retirement, right? So, um, that brings you to a point where if you're so done with being a warrior that you get lost in the miasma of being kind of like almost wealthy and ordinary as far as your private life is concerned. I mean, you get out there and you have your fun in the media, and then you've got like, I can't even tell you how much I fucking loved what was it, Mike Tyson's Mysteries or whatever, with all the Scooby-Doo shit. I mean, like, Mike Tyson just everybody fucking loves Mike Tyson, man. Everybody fucking loves Mike. And if Mike continually, for his own sake, just in general, kept up, right? Like people were talking all, I think this year, last year, whatever, because Dave Bautista said he's basically done being such an exclusive action hero. Like, he wants to like slow down, and they show that picture where like he lost a lot of muscle mass and all that stuff. Watch this bullshit get another age restriction. One of my videos, my vibe check video, got an age restriction on it. I appealed it and I lost. Ridiculous. It's not like I say to any of these videos that they're made for kids. Not a single one do I ever say made for kids. So whatever. It's not even technically in trouble, but at any rate. A great deal of criticism has been, the general kind of like weakness of the generation, right? Boomers, X, and millennials, and the front end of Generation Z, all grew up in an extent of the quote leisure culture and economy. Hi, Chris. That was apparent by the name Chris in your name. So the issue of leisure culture, right? The issue of like, we live in a world where most people do not like motivating other people. It's almost seen as abusive, as harassment or whatever, right? And of course, being very, very pushy can come off as just controlling, right? And we're supposed to be free, and like, culturally speaking, we're supposed to be this free place. Therefore, your freedom means that you can abandon your responsibility towards other people in general, right? Don't step up to yourself as a man. Don't step up to yourself as a woman. So on and so forth. And try and live just try and live the way they want you to live, right? enjoy the good foods, have the most comfortable of living rooms. You're always going to the spa or whatever it is. One second, I gotta turn the power on here. And get your movie time in, and just like, and then you deliberately shift your life into nothing but entertaining other people and entertaining yourself, and having no time to do stuff for yourself because you want to have all the people around you or whatever. You're moving into the new phase. And maybe I'm only can speak like this because I decided to shift from being a different kind of like that to this. I was never like a normie, right? I didn't like wake up just living ordinary life and then one day it's just like there was always that annoying level of maybe it's just the nature of being a questioner or something. So like it's nothing that special other than being kind of like the ordinary kind of person that questions reality, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it was just indicative of every Uranus ascendant in the world that they acted like this. I don't know. But my point is that like I always knew that I needed to. It was like I was aware that I was in like some sort of reality that was entirely a filter of lies I was told, right? And so because I had already at a very young age, because I asked a lot of odd questions that people gave sincere like answers that didn't make sense to me, and probably because I was overthinking a lot of it, which caused a lot of frustration until I grew up and realized that they were right, but I craved a complicated answer. I was craving complicated answers, right? And I wasn't surrounded by complicated-minded people. So no answer I ever got satiated things. And I never let go of my interest in that, as much as a great deal of my focus in life was crippled by the off direction, right? So the point I'm making in context to this generational issue. Oh, I hate it when that happens. To this generational issue. Hold on. Thank you. Is what if, Mike Tyson just, kept up like a weekly regiment of some basic things, right? I mean, I'm sure he even had some basic things, but like from a really, really relaxed point of view. I'm talking about, like, I'm wondering, like he must have, because I'm pretty sure I've seen him like out of shape and stuff, right? Like, like everybody thinks they live in a world where they can afford to be harmless, defenseless, crippled. They think they can afford to live that way because of because their way of life doesn't quite feel threatened, and when it does feel threatened, they double down on it, like I'm gonna get fatter, right? It's like what? Mike Tyson responded appropriately to the call to action, right? But, he must have underestimated what it would take to get his legs to 100%. right? And if he's didn't spend enough time getting to know his body right, like his new body, right? Not just his new body, but now his rebuilt new body, right? Because his new body, because his last body was nothing, because he let his prime body, fall apart, right? So you've got this whole thing where, there's probably some slag on the epigenetic ability. And, I could see it that's why I mentioned the look on Tyson's face and all that stuff in the last video. It's just like the fierce aura projection was not there in his posture and in his face, right? Like energetically, it wasn't there. Everything looked fine, but I'm really looking at him, and it's just like he's big enough to be a beast in the ring, but his energy field is not as big of a beast as it was. He's, he just doesn't have the fucking enough of the vigor restored, right? People tell me to fucking slow down. I'm 44 years old. I move way too fast, and I'm moving fast easily. Like I'm enjoying. I'm not winded. It's just like I'm happy, but I work just like boom. It's just like the ridiculous level of speed that I'm being asked to fucking slow down about nowadays. So, job wants me to take it easy, and I do need to take it easy for that job because, there's other things I can do, even though it's not challenging me physically. And that's something that a lot of people can do that aren't doing the physical development, but are doing things like the mental development, right? So you got that to your benefit while you're doing your job, right? So, Mike probably, because he didn't have the survival situation to argue for living the way that he used to live, or the career fighter argument, and would not have probably developed a holistic sense of self until he started doing his personal inner work journey after his career. That you get put into the comfort zone. And the comfort zone softens any warrior. Any warrior that's in the comfort zone as their state of mind. It's not about here I am in the living room relaxing. It's about my Dasein is that to always be sitting in this living room relaxing. I have no impulse for a future where my nervous system goes on fire because I must imitate war for the sake of keeping up, right? So, you let some of your skills go because, you want to slow down and everything else. So, not a big deal, like, on a personal level for a person, right? You've done your thing and all that stuff, right? But just keep this in mind for yourself, that you need to keep up with your shit if you really want to if you really want to just hold on to all of that ability for when you need it. You don't know when you're going to need it. Mike Tyson didn't need it. He made a choice for shits and giggles and lots of money. Right? Mike Tyson lost literally nothing. He just didn't gain as much as the other guy. And he didn't even fucking get hurt in the process. You might die because you couldn't have possibly conceived of a threat to this country that's real, that can be an on-the-foot occupying force on these lands. It's so inconceivable to you, you will die because you were never fucking separated from your mother as a child to grow up and be just like your dad. Neither was I. And so I'm working to consciously compensate for the fact that I will be psychologically more traumatized at the outset of these things than my ancestors because I wasn't surrounded by enough fucking heavy bullshit. I got friends that fucking mother their children so badly that I can't fucking post memes about Halloween witches eating children in their magical pot, which was part of modern traditional Halloween folklore. Plenty of things to talk about it, but the point is that the meme was absolutely rejected because of other people in the group. So, and for no other reason than such delicate sensibilities that a cute and innocent meme that had nothing wrong with it, right? These people are raising children that can't protect anybody. If they're fucking sheltering a child that could understand that meme from being exposed to it, meaning that their nerves will get fucking racked by all sorts of confrontations and pains and everything else, and they're going to be docile. They're going to fucking surrender, or they're going to fight back and lose pathetically. And I'm afraid that I will too, because of how I was raised. So therefore, I work really hard on this front because I take nothing for granted. Right? It's the same thing as when you see somebody who's just like too fat, too thin, too whatever in the gym. You say fucking nothing because you know what? They're showing up for themselves today just like you did. Right? Because they're putting in a modicum of hard effort and time. And that's all you can do for a stranger. If you even know the stranger at least needs that. So I say that Mike, although he did lose because he's old, he also lost because he didn't restore his whole faculties in time, right? Because he just jumped into fucking power, within the whatever amount of time this was, like a year or something, of promoting this fucking thing and giving him the time to bounce into that fucking shape and re-bestialize. But that's also moving quickly, and the healing process, the maintaining process is very slow. It took me better part of a year to get certain inherent issues in my shoulders, elbows, hips, ankles, like all these little things that I either tolerated because I didn't really use them that much in that way, or arose because I started using them more proactively from exercise and fight training and things like that, and that's why I got exploratory with yoga, not just doing it for meditation and general stretching, but like, okay, I need different stretches just for this fucking shoulder for the next fucking week, right? And so I'd find like upper body, like shoulder therapy yoga, something like that, right? These are the things that I did. I ain't got a fucking fight tomorrow. I don't know if I'm ever gonna have another fight in my fucking life, and I want to keep it that way. So I'll fight the enemies in my head, so the enemies in the real world are terrified of me because I fight bigger monsters in my head than they are in reality. And I'll lose in my head just to not get cocky. And then I'll run it again until I think I've imagined the right way to win right. And I have to use my imagination because I can't afford to pay for a trainer, and my friends are too busy. And I don't think I could pay them for their time if I begged them. So anyway, I am going to see who all these people are before I go and I get my little workout in. All right, good to see all of you. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Stay tuned. I'm going to be going live on Monday with a thing with Nick Oracle. And I don't know, tonight or tomorrow or something, I may go live again and do another Box Saga thing. I'm very interested in just kind of like popping up with a Box Saga thing here and there until I've kind of covered all of the Box Saga stuff that's from anybody who officially learned from Eeyore and or Jim or one of the other guys. Yeah, like anybody who learned from Eeyore or anybody who learned from Jim Chesner. Or I suppose anybody who learned from other people like Jim, like especially the ones that you see in the videos, right? So, you know, I might do something from that Merle guy who, you don't know Merle yet. I haven't shown you anything that's got him in it. But Merle is another one of his students who is not American. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later.